In our video, we're going to create a mold so that we can make these fishing Senkos we've designed. So here's step one. Step one is to take the part we've designed and make sure that it is a component. So sometimes when we just do a one-off design, we end up with bodies, even though that's not the best practice. But we're going to make sure it's a component, so we just right-click on the body and say make into a component. That step is already done here. So next off, we're going to make the mold itself. So we'll go up to New Component, and for the name, we will call this one the mold. We'll start with a new sketch, and we'll click any plane that bisects the object. So either of these two will work. I'm going to draw a rectangle around it. I want to remember that I want to leave space down there at the bottom as well. I don't want that worm to be on the very bottom, or the injection will go straight through. So now we'll dimension some things. So from the origin out, let's make that 0.5. That looks great. Do the same thing to the other side. So another 0.5. And we'll also go from the origin to the bottom line. We'll keep that simple. 0.2 looked pretty good. From the top to the top of the Senko, let's make it 0.125. Give it a little bit of space there. We'll go ahead and finish that sketch. So what we'll do now is extrude it. Let me rotate that so you can see it. We would like for that extrusion to go to both sides. So notice when I do this, it only goes to the one side. Over here for direction, we can change to symmetric. Now it's going to be a 1/2 inch on each side, and we'll choose OK. It's important that we put a hole so that we can actually introduce our material substance into it. So we'll go up to sketch, or we can just do a hole from the create menu. There's hole. And I'll put it right up top here. Let me turn that so we can see it better. I'll go ahead and I want to just kind of put that in the middle. For my diameter, it's going to depend largely on what it is you're going to enter the substance with. For me, I'll keep it like a 1/4 inch. And for the depth of it, I think we can just go with a 0.125 and press OK. Okay, so now that we put the hole in, what we've got to do is actually combine the worm and the mold and subtract the worm. So this is how that's done. We'll go up to Modify, and we'll choose Combine. So I'll choose Combine. I'm going to say for target body, I'm just going to click the mold itself. Now I need to turn the visibility off in the browser. So I'll turn that mold visibility off. And for my tool body, I'm going to choose the worm. I want to make sure my operation is set to cut, and I can choose OK. If we want to keep it, we can just say Keep Tools. We're trying to create a cavity here, so I'm just going to let it be. And I'll choose OK. Now, I know everything just disappeared, but remember, we cut the worm out, and we turn the visibility of the mold off. So we're going to turn the visibility of the mold back on, which we just did. And now we're going to expand the origin, turn the visibility of that origin back on. In particular, what I like is we want to pick a plane that bisects that. So the next step is to actually split the body. So we're going to go to Modify, and we'll choose Split Body. Here it is. The body to split is going to actually be the mold. For the splitting tool, we're going to pick one of those planes that bisects it. Really hard to see, but if I zoom in some or zoom out, there's one. So that's my splitting tool, is the plane. That's why I wanted to turn those visibilities back on. And I'll choose OK. So now these are actually split, but right now they're still considered bodies. So we'll expand the mold, and we'll expand the bodies, and we'll right-click on Body 1 and say Create Components from Bodies. We'll right-click on Body 2 and do the same, Create Components from Bodies. Now we can actually pull these apart, and you can see that we have molds, and we can use those in 3D print or export for your form of manufacturing.